All right, I'd like to call to order the Personnel and Administration Committee for Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Cone,
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderman Aldridge,
Present.
President Green,
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. 3 present, you have quorum.
A quorum being present, I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from Thursday, February 29th, 2024.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I said second.
Sorry, it didn't come through. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Cone,
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderman Aldridge,
Aye.
President Green.
Aye.
3 aye votes.
By your vote, you sustain the motion from the Alderman from the 14th to approve the minutes. We will go down to committee discussions for today. We'll start with item number 1, which is employee matters. The first thing that we want to start with, from our last meeting, we talked about putting out a professional development opportunity survey to get feedback from staff about the types of professional development that they would like to see and that they would find to be beneficial. If Christine, you want to brief us on what that survey said?
Sure. Thank you, President Green, members of the committee. We released a survey that was open for 2 weeks. We had 31 out of the 46 BOA and PBOA staff members respond. There were a number of issues that they would like to be able to access training for. 20 people would like to be able to learn more about Adobe Acrobat and would like access to the paid version, either standard or pro. 20 people thought that collaborative problem solving and negotiation skills would be helpful in their job. 18 people thought that further training on Microsoft Office would be helpful, including how to format bills. 17 people would like to learn more about the rules of the Board of Aldermen and parliamentary procedure for their day-to-day work. 17 people needed more information or wanted training on CityWorks. 17 people were interested in learning more about managing staff and labor laws. And then 16 people indicated that they would like to learn more about the Google Workspace that some employees are using. And so Jay Nelson and I have begun reaching out to the personnel department, information technology. We've got a meeting with LinkedIn Learning next week to try and figure out what we can have access to that's already available or can be tailored for our employees at the board. And personnel and information and ITSA have already responded. So if you all have questions, I'm happy to take those. I'm also happy to come back before you with more information on actually getting some of the trainings done for people that they indicated they thought would be helpful.
Right. Are there any questions from members of the board? Members of the committee? All right, seeing none.
Shane had his hand up, Madam President.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I just want to, take the opportunity to, thank Alderwoman Ingracia, the Director of Operations, for, taking the effort to do this. I think it's good to know, where the staff, wants to see development opportunities. So just in terms of the next steps, it seems like some of those would be offered through personnel, but some might not. Do we have an estimated time frame on when we might be able to provide those to the staff?
I think for many of them sooner rather than later. I've already spoken with Personnel Director Jenkins Gray, who indicated that some of the training, as you mentioned, could be provided through personnel and is kind of ready-made, and some of it can be tailored to meet the individual needs of our staff. And then information technology department also reached out to them and they're kind of working on what opportunities. Those are more like the Acrobat and Office and Google Suite type classes. And then Jay Nelson and I have a meeting with LinkedIn Learning next week to figure out what they have made available to them. But I believe that many of these opportunities will be just part of the cost of doing business with the cities in partnership with personnel and ITSA. And then I'll come back to you with anything that I think might have a cost to it. But some of these things I would assume we could launch rather quickly within a month or so.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further comments or questions from the committee? All right, seeing none, thank you, Christine, for taking the lead on this and the initiative to go ahead and set up what we can with personnel. And I think the ask from this committee would just be that if once you talk to LinkedIn Learning and some of these other groups, if there are costs associated, how about at our next meeting, if you can put together a budget for what that looks like and we can look at how that fits within our current proposed budget for this next year.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. With that, I think that is our only item for open session. So with that, I would entertain a motion that the meeting of the Personnel and Administration Committee be closed to the public under provisions of section 610.0213 and section 610.022 of the Missouri Revised Statutes in order to permit the members of the committee to discuss matters related to the hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of employees of the Board of Aldermen.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
Hearing no objection, if we could please be placed into closed session.
We just came out of closed session, so I'm just making sure that we have the clerk on the line, which it looks like we do. And I don't believe we don't have any other items on the agenda for today. The president had to step out, so I'm taking over as vice chair. And we do not have any other items on the agenda. All members of the committee were present. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Is there an objection? No objection to previous rule. The committee stands adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.